Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Hey folks, welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Jessa Jeremiah.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we are really excited because we're in a brand new location today. We are at the J&K Security Solutions Model Smart Home here on South Park Street in Madison. This is a really cool place.
It's a really cool place, and I had no idea it was here, to be perfectly frank. And I am so glad to be here because it's cool, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, there's a lot of different buttons that you can press and gadgets, and everything is tied to controlling from your mobile device, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really fun later. We'll find out a little bit more about some of those things, and we're going to be filming here for all of our guests, so we'll have the opportunity to sit here and enjoy the space.
Absolutely.
It'll be great. We're going to chat with several folks today. We're going to be checking back in with one of my favorite guests, Michelle from Isthmus Acupuncture, and perfect time of year to be talking about mental health and some of the natural remedies that we can help solve some of the winter blues. So she'll be here. She's just fabulous, and she'll tell you some tips on what you can do.
And Dustin and Nicole from Iron Grip Gym have a really impressive demonstration that they're gonna show for you at least later on in the show as well. Actually, that's coming up next, I think. So
yes, I'm looking forward to that. And this demonstration is a great way to get started with kettlebells. You see people using kettlebells in the gym.
Yeah.
How did they get there? Or maybe you're using kettlebells and you're not using it properly. So they're going to show us how to do that after the break. It's all here on Wisconsin Family at J&K Security Solutions. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are here filming at J&K Security Solutions. We're going to talk later to the owner about how they can help you and your family. We look forward to it. Right now we are joined by our old friends Dustin and Nicole from Iron Grip Gym. They are over in Middleton, and I'm very excited to have you guys today. How are you?
Good. Good to be back. Good to be back.
Yes, we're glad to have you. Now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do some demos. You're going to show us some of the tools that you can use to get fit and get in shape. So, what are you going to be demonstrating for us today? Talk to us about how it's going to help.
Yep, so today we're going to be demonstrating 3 different progressions to the swing, and the benefit of it is that it prevents injury when teaching clients to work with a kettlebell. So we start with the vintage dumbbell first.
Okay, super. So what is the vintage dumbbell? Talk to us, you told us a little bit why it's useful, so it helps us prevent some injury.
Correct.
So explain a little bit, while you're demonstrating how to use it.
So first of all, we're going to start from dead, so it's dead weight. She's going to bring it up overhead, which is going to condition the shoulder for the movement pattern.
That looks very impressive, Nicole.
So then she's going to go. Then we usually have people start from dead. Then we have them go long cycle, which they don't set it. What happens is that this grip is a 2-inch grip. Okay. It's going to challenge your grip strength. Therefore, it's going to condition the ligaments, strengthen the tendons, so it reduces injury when it comes to kettlebell work. It causes less stress to the joints. And the movement pattern can adapt. Your shoulder joint can adapt. You get used to the range of motion.
So pick that up one more time for me, Nicole, because I want to talk about what you're talking about with the 2-inch grip. So you're talking about this,
correct.
right?
Yep.
The circumference around that, and that actually strengthens the grip.
It does. Yep.
Your whole, all your wrists and all the tendons in your
strength.
wrist.
Yep. Tendons in your elbow.
Okay, great. How long would a client use this piece of machinery before they move on to the kettlebell is next, right?
Yep, we have them work with the vintage dumbbell for sure 1 month, usually 2. Okay. We'll have them do the first progression for about, the first month, and then the second progression, and then you'll move on to the kettlebell.
Okay. Interesting. So there's steps, and you're trying to maintain safety, build strength, all those kinds of things. Yep. Now let's talk about the next progression. There's an additional tool, or are you going to show us the kettlebell first? I don't want to skip ahead.
We'll do the additional tool. We call this the gag. It's kind of a goofy name, but it's short for get a grip. So this is a 2-inch. We also have a 1.5-inch. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate with the 2-inch. So this would be our next progression up from the dumbbell. So all we do is put this right through the handle of the kettlebell.
Oh, you use the kettlebell.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and we always start back by the heels just to engage the hamstrings right from the set of the repetition.
And when you say you start from dead, you're meaning
dead weight,
not moving.
So it's on the floor.
Okay, so stagnant.
Correct. So then we'll get going long cycle rep.
Wow.
This really challenges his grip.
Same thing as the dumbbell. It challenges the grip.
Right.
Strengthens the elbow joint.
Okay. So that's really interesting because how much weight would you say is there in the kettlebell?
This is a 28 kilos, so this is about 64 pounds.
Okay, and you've got that all by your own grip.
That's right.
And so you really, I see why you start with the first one, strengthen that grip, and then you move on.
That's correct.
So very interesting. So once clients have a good foundation, so they've learned that swing, what do you think is the next step from there?
The next step would be the kettlebell swing. So,
Okay.
What's also nice about this is it also gives you hand placement, so it's just inside the thighs.
Okay.
That also keeps you from squatting. So a lot of people have a tendency to squat when they do swings, so that engages the quads, when really it's a posterior exercise. The swing should be mainly glutes, hamstrings, abs.
Got it.
Now that we have the foundation, we have our correct hand placement, people understand how it feels to use their hamstrings and glutes, we'll get them into the two-handed kettlebell swing.
All right. So I see people doing this occasionally, and so I've always been intimidated, but I'm glad I didn't pick it up and go for it, because there is some steps to make sure that you're safe and doing the right thing, and you've got a lot of weight that you're swinging.
Yep.
So, okay, so I get that. So you move on the progression. Now, let's talk a little bit. So Iron Grip Gym is over in Middleton. Remind us what road.
It's on University Green, so just off of University.
And for folks who are interested in doing this process or just coming and working out and seeing what it's all about, you guys are running a Groupon right now.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have 2 campaigns. So the first campaign includes 2 unlimited options, so a 2-week option and a 4-week option, both really reasonable. So you can come in as much as you want during that time and then decide from there where you want to go. And then the other one is personal training sessions. So if you don't like the group, you can come in and do, we have Muay Thai, self-defense. We have our strength classes, endurance classes, and you can do one-on-one for the 5 sessions. And then that includes a dietary consult, which is 15 minutes with Danielle, who is
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit before. I forgot that you do that. The dietary consultation is a really nice way to get the whole picture, right? Because you can do so much with working out, but you have to have the right diet. And people after the holidays may need that, a little bit going into January. We're all thinking about, weight loss and trying to get back on track after we eat our way through Christmas and Thanksgiving. Well, this is just great. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is Dustin and Nicole from Iron Grip Gym. They are over in Middleton. They have a fabulous Groupon, and I've learned a lot, so thanks a bunch, you guys.
Yeah, thank you for
having us.
We'll be right back with more Wisconsin Family. Michelle from Isthmus Acupuncture is up next. Stick around.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are so excited to be filming here at the J&K Security Solutions Model Smart Home.
Yeah,
what a cool place this is.
A beautiful place. I look forward to chatting with them later.
Yeah, it'll be great. But first, we're going to be talking with Michelle Buchanan from Isthmus Acupuncture. Welcome back.
Good morning.
So glad to have you.
Yeah, now as I understand, you're going to talk to us a little bit about kind of some natural remedies for beating the holiday blues and just general emotional health. What options are out there for supporting emotional health and the holiday blues naturally?
There's quite a few things that we offer. Acupuncture is great for emotional health. So is Chinese herbs. Aromatherapy is great. Massage is really wonderful.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to treat themselves to a massage?
That's the one we knew.
Right.
The other ones are new.
And then we also have an infrared sauna, and so a lot of times people will schedule a sauna session right after the massage, and that's just like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, sign me up.
Those are nice little ways to pamper yourself, but from a serious perspective, Chinese medicine looks at emotional health the same way they look at physical health, and so they don't differentiate. And what we do is we look at what types of patterns of imbalance people have, and then recommend herbs, essential oils, acupuncture based on that. So there's actually a science behind it.
That's really smart. And so many people were so quick to jump to, more traditional to our country methods of taking care of those things that don't help the long term, right? I mean, they're just quick fixes. So I love that we're talking about this, especially going into the holidays, because we do have a lot of folks that have holiday blues. And how do you determine that? When do you determine that a person does need that emotional help?
Right. Well, if anybody wants to feel the best they can or feel a little bit better, then holistic medicine is perfect for you. If somebody has more of a mental illness condition, then that's where they're going to want to see their doctor and work with their doctor. And we are trained to actually help support those types of medications and different things like that, and psychotherapy. So we know how to differentiate when a person just needs like a little pick-me-up. And also, too, in the Midwest, a lot of people don't have adequate vitamin D levels.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have enough sunshine.
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
I can imagine.
That brief, like 3-hour window of sunshine yesterday was great, and I was like, oh my God, my mood is so much better.
It's
Oh,
true.
absolutely.
So we'll look at super high quality vitamin D supplements that have vitamin K mixed in it, so it actually gets into the bones and does what it needs to do. So we'll look at some nutritional supplements too that might help if people happen to notice they feel a little bit off or their immune system gets a little bit low this time of year every year. So we'll look at past history and how they handled the winter months here in the Midwest, and then look at different things we can do to support it naturally.
And when Michelle says different things we can do, she really means it, because you guys have this whole, I mean, everything is in-house.
Yeah.
You're not just going to recommend, oh, go get this vitamin and send them somewhere else. You can actually create these in Isthmus Acupuncture.
Right. We have a custom Chinese herbal pharmacy where we have a pharmaceutical grade encapsulator, and we can actually make custom Chinese prescriptions for emotional health.
I think that's so cool.
Based on what you need as an individual, and put it in capsules so it's really easy to take. Or you can mix it in hot water and drink it as a tea. And then we have high quality, they call it pharmaceutical grade nutraceuticals that can only be purchased through a healthcare provider. So like what we offer for nutritional support and supplements is very different than what you would get like at the co-op or community pharmacy.
Right, they're custom to each individual person based on their needs.
Right, and they're only sold through licensed healthcare providers because we know how to prescribe them properly.
Wow, that's really neat.
Now, you had mentioned earlier that you know, there's a difference when somebody needs, you know, some mental health attention versus just a pick-me-up. What if somebody is already taking medication for depression or something like that? Can they still, you know, can you still help them out? Are you still able to support that?
Yes, we do that all the time, and we're trained on which types of nutritional supplements and herbs support pharmaceutical medications and which ones you should avoid. And then a lot of times when people do acupuncture herbs with it, they're able to greatly reduce the amount of medications they're on. And we always have them work with their doctor if they're, you know, looking at tapering down or making some changes. I specialize in fertility, and there's a lot of women that come in that are taking medication for depression or anxiety that would like to get off of it before they get pregnant.
Yeah.
So we're very used to dealing with that population and how to complement the medications the doctors might be giving.
Wow, that's really smart.
Yeah.
You mentioned aromatherapy earlier. Kind of tie that in for us. How would aromatherapy sort of support some of these things that we're talking about?
Right, so we've created these meridian balancing essential oil blends at our office, and what we do is we look to find out where the person's imbalance is and where their weakness is in their health, which will also show in their mental health. For example, somebody who might have a spleen meridian imbalance will have a tendency to worry too much and kind of think things over and ruminate over things, and, you know, constantly kind of rethink the same situations. And so what we'll do is we'll recommend the spleen meridian balancing blend, or Chinese herbs that support the spleen, or acupuncture that supports the spleen. And most people will find that they don't ruminate so much and they don't overthink things. And the great thing to do is to provide the aromatherapy blend for them to do at home in between their sessions. So they might come in once a month or once every 6 weeks, and then they can do the essential oils and aromatherapy at home.
It's so interesting to me how the mind and people's thoughts are so connected to their body and well-being, and that's exactly where you come in. That's so fascinating.
I was just going to say, everything is connected. That's why
Yeah.
it's called
Absolutely.
holistic.
That's right.
That's right.
Michelle Buchanan from Isthmus Acupuncture, thank you so much again for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Thank
Michelle.
you. Thanks.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking with the folks from J&K Security Solutions right here on Wisconsin Family.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. And here we are. This is the segment we've all been waiting for.
Yes, it is.
We are talking to the folks from J&K Security Solutions, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the model smart home that we're in right now. I'm joined now by owners Jeff Beckman and General Manager Tom Spinoso. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys. We've really enjoyed being here and lounging in the theater room.
Yeah, that's a cool place, that theater.
Is.
So, Jeff, I want to start with you a little bit. Why don't you just give us a quick history of J&K Security Solutions?
Well, actually, kind of hard to believe, but 30 years ago, we started as locksmiths. We started out of our home. So it was my wife, Kim, and myself.
Yeah.
And went from there. We went to a retail location, expanded, moved to another location, all on Park Street. Expanded, moved to another location, got into security, expanded again, came here. And in 2009, we built this building, and the rest is history.
Wow.
That is interesting. So you've just kept moving and expanding along the way, and here you are today running this wonderful business.
Made the right decisions along the way, had the right help.
Sure.
A lot of family.
Yeah.
Brother, son, son-in-law,
Yeah.
wife.
That's
so
great.
It's become a family business.
Yes,
Family
yes,
affair.
absolutely.
Well, that's wonderful. So you definitely are equipped to answer this question. Then I'd like to know, over the years, 30 years, I suppose you could answer, how has security sort of grown and evolved and changed?
Well, back in the 90s when we did a lot of lock work, and we did a lot of institutional lock work, hospitals and whatnot, everyone was going electronic. They wanted an electronic strike, they wanted card access, they wanted burg alarm cameras. Wasn't a big thing then, but we decided we better get on the horse or we'll be left behind. So today, it's affordable for everybody.
Sure.
I mean, we get calls daily. You have your national companies, ADT, you have other national ones. We're local.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool to say that you're local and you can do the same thing that some of those bigger companies do.
Absolutely.
And I imagine that, that was a good example of a smart move on your part then to, say, I think this could be a thing, these electronic cards and so forth. That could be a thing in the future, so we really need to get on that.
It was. We were very fortunate we made that decision.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was a smart move, like you said.
Smart move. Got it. You're just full of them today, Jessa.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really intrigued by the idea of the smart home technology. We've been hearing more and more about that. I think that's one of those things that could be like the next, key fob and whatnot. So talk to us a little bit about what exactly is a smart home.
That's where I'm going to refer to Tom. He's the expert here.
Well, a smart home is really a home where everything works together. Mm-hmm. We can take subsystems in a home or parts of a home like lighting, HVAC, security, audio, video, energy management, those kinds of things, and blend them together so that they all work together, can talk to one another, and can be be controlled really from within the home or outside the home, and really make a home work for a person or a family.
Yeah, and kind of expand on that working smarter together, what that kind of means for a family in terms of, just convenience.
Sure. Yeah, we focus a lot on comfort and convenience, and safety and security would be some areas that people really enjoy. An example would be if you're coming home late at night, the system might know, for example, that it's dark outside. You open your garage door, it would light your home, the outside lights, and maybe light a pathway into your home automatically without you having to think about it. And the system works on, knows when dawn and dusk is, so as that changes throughout the year, you don't have to think about it, the system automatically does it for you. That would be an example. The other feature people really like about a smart home would be an automation scene. We would call it good night as an example. You might have a keypad or pull out your phone next to your bed and press a good night button. It would turn the lights off in the home. It might arm your security system, shut the garage door if you had left it on, turn the thermostat back when you're ready to go to bed as opposed to a hard schedule. So it's really about taking all these areas and blending them together and making that house work together.
And even one more point, people go on vacation, they set timers for lights because they want to make sure that people think they're home.
Right.
You can put a vacation scene in there and it'll handle everything that you pre-program into it.
Oh, that's really great. I liked what you said about being in bed and being able to shut everything off.
Right.
You know how that is when you lay down and you're all ready to go to bed and then you go, oh shoot, I left such and so light on, and you got to get back up.
Right.
And, that's a convenience thing, but how nice to be able to just set it and forget it.
And they give you visual confirmation. Is that door closed? Is that light off? So you don't have to get up and run around the house and work those items.
And then the vacation safety, I think that's something that everybody needs and wants.
Yes, absolutely. And now, I'm curious to know, I have a lot of questions about this, and I don't know if we're going to have time to get to all of them today, but how does one get started with a smart home? What are the first steps? If I wanted to convert my home into a smart home, what are the first steps?
Well, what's great about smart home today is that you can get started in very small ways. You can start with a one-room system, control perhaps your audio and video, some lights, and then scale into a bigger system for your entire house. So it typically starts with a controller or some software and some devices, and once you get them connected, you can start from there and then grow. The great thing about the smart home technology today is whether you're building a new home or remodeling, a lot of the smart home technology today is wireless. So we can go into an existing home, retrofit that home, and get all the advantages of somebody who would be building a new home today.
I think that's a really good point that you brought up, because I think maybe folks not everyone may not realize that, and they think, boy, I have an older home, I would love the technology, but I can't do it because they'd be tearing down walls or wiring through different things, but that's not the case. So it really doesn't matter what you're saying, the age of the home, you can make it a smart home regardless.
Absolutely,
And tell us a little bit, you kind of touched on this a little bit, Jeff, but talk to us a little bit about sort of the difference or why J&K is a great place to start, maybe as opposed to some of those bigger names.
Well, where I will start is, we've been here 30 years, we're family owned, we're local, everyone knows buying local is best. We actually have learned over time how you treat customers, and that's how we retain them. There are other aspects that Tom will go into.
Just a couple of things. I think the showroom, and you've talked about it, the ability to come in, this technology can seem confusing, it can seem sort of, people are hesitant to ask questions. When you come into the showroom, you can come in, it's set up like a home, we'll let you work the equipment, you'll see how it works, you'll interact with it, and that allows you to get a real comfort level with it. And I think that's a big distinction between what we do here and what's done elsewhere.
Boy, I think that's so important too, because if you're talking about new technology, and I think this is a good topic for some older folks and people who live at home alone, that maybe they're nervous that they won't know how to use it, and so that might be a hindrance to going ahead and getting it, even though it would be a huge benefit.
And maybe the last thing, and I think this is where Jeff is going to go, our support and customer service. I mean, we are really great at what we do, and so if somebody has questions or problems or issues, I feel like nobody stands behind people as good as J&K does.
Yeah, well, thanks for mentioning that.
And they're going to talk to somebody locally if they do have an issue.
A real person.
Yeah, a real person.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah. Well, Jeff and Tom, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for having us. This was great talking with you.
Yeah, we
Thank
enjoyed
you for being
it,
here.
guys. Thank you.
It was fun.
And that's all the time we have for Wisconsin Family. We've been here on location at J&K Security Solutions, and we'll see you next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day.